Hello, welcome to Introduction to the Visual Arts. This is the first video in the series of our online Introduction to the Visual Arts class. My name is Marie Snavely and I am your instructor. What I have before me is a bag of supplies. This is available at the bookstore on campus, and you can use your financial aid to buy this packet. So we're going to do a kind of unboxing, maybe more like an unbagging. So let me start with that. This has got some tape on it. Now I want to go through, I'm going to stop talking for a moment because this is going to make some noise. So I'm just going to stop talking while I pull the tape off. Okay, this kit that you will get at the bookstore in the Student Center is non-returnable. The reason it is non-returnable is because it has so many things in it that it's hard to keep track of all of the stuff. So once you open it up, once you buy it, it is yours to keep and you won't be able to return it. Now, I don't know if you're going to need everything in this, I mean if you're going to use up all of the supplies, but you probably will use some of all of them. First of all, we have a box here, and the box, there are 6 bottles of tempera paint in this box. These are really high quality tempera paint. It's not the real inexpensive tempera paint that you could find at like Walmart or something. So this is a very nice quality. And when you have a nice quality tempera paint, the thing about it is that you'll get better coverage. Now hopefully you can see these as I'm pulling them out, because we'll talk about what colors you're supposed to have in the kit. You have black and white. The colors are black and white, which are not really a color but are a neutral. But with black and white, you can make a whole range of tints and shades. If you add white to a color, you create a tint. If you add black to a color, you create a shade. So I'm going to put those back in the box. Whoop. Okay, you have the primary colors here, red, yellow, and blue. The best thing about red, yellow, and blue is that they're the primaries, and you can mix almost every color in the rainbow with red, yellow, and blue. But I have added green as well. Green is a secondary color. You get green by mixing blue and yellow. The reason I wanted you to have a green is because you get a purer green if it's already mixed. But the green is actually a secondary color. So you end up with 3 primaries, neutrals, and green. So now I'm going to close this box and I'm just going to set it aside. There should be one of these in each of your kits. Now, if you run out of tempera paint, there is more in the bookstore and you'll be able to buy it in the individual bottle if you need to buy some extra. All right. The next thing is there are 4 erasers, and these are we're going to use these for a printmaking project. So the printmaking project is going to take this knife. This is a little X-Acto knife, and all you have to do is push it like this, and the blade comes out. It's very sharp, so be careful and don't cut yourself with it. You have 4 erasers, and these are going to be for the printmaking project. And also with that printmaking project, you're going to need the stamp pad. Here is the stamp pad right here. So this is going to be used for a special project. Don't use these erasers to erase with, because they are for the project that we're going to use. So I'm going to put them aside. Okay, you get a watercolor set. And watercolor doesn't have to be expensive. There's a nice high quality paintbrush in here with your watercolor. Lots of our projects that we're going to do, or some of our projects, are going to require a watercolor set. So this is a very nice watercolor set. You'll probably have to supply a plastic dish, something like a butter dish or something that you've got from from your kitchen. You'll probably have to have one to to soften these and to paint with. But when I talk about, in one of my videos, I talk about how to make watercolors, and it will tell you there exactly what you need for this project. So I'm going to set that aside. You'll have a set of watercolor pencils, and I mean these are just colored pencils. They're not watercolor pencils, just a regular colored pencil set. With colored pencils you can do many things, and several of our projects are going to require this set of colored pencils. There's a bottle of Elmer's glue. The Elmer's glue you can use to glue things when we do some collage kind of projects, but if you like glue stick, I would recommend that you buy some glue stick because it's less messy than Elmer's glue. But we need this Elmer's glue when we do our paper marbling project. And when you look through the videos on Moodle, well, they'll all have titles, and you will see that there is supplies for paper marbling and what it will encounter. There are 2 pieces of cardboard here. There's 2 pieces of cardboard. They have color on one side, but don't pay too much attention to that. The side that we're going to marble is the white side. And for the paper marbling project, we're going to use the Elmer's glue, these covers, which are going to be the covers to your book, and then we're also going to use some tempera paint. And I will explain that more in a subsequent video. These are they look like they're about 4 by 6 inches in size. Okay. There are 2. And there's some rolled up paper here. This rolled up paper is to create the pages for this paper marbling book that we're going to make. Now, you have 2 of the rolls, and that you might not need both of the rolls. It just depends on how long you want to make your pages. And if you want to make them extra long, then you'll just glue them together and you'll make one long strip of paper. But if your paper is big enough, you with just one roll, maybe you'll only use one roll, and that will be up to you. You can decide that later, but you don't necessarily have to use both of them, but maybe you'll want to use both of them when you start making your final book. It just depends on how much you want to put in your final book. Here is a black Sharpie. The black Sharpie you'll use this for several projects, so that is included in your pack as well. Here is a pack of paper. This is a pack of it's just True Ray construction paper, and there's lots and lots of papers in here and lots of colors. Now, you probably won't use all of this, but we had to buy it in a set like this. We couldn't break the sets, so you'll have extra paper when you're done. And so that just, you won't use all of it, so be aware of that. This is a very important pack. This is the multimedia pack. This is the paper that you're going to use for almost everything. It's a nice heavyweight paper. It says 60 down here, and I believe that means that the weight of the paper is 60 pounds. And that's a heavyweight paper. It's not the heaviest that you can get. Oh, pardon me, it's 75 pounds. It must be 60 sheets. It's 75 pound paper. The bigger this number, the heavier the paper is. This paper is kind of a nice weight that you can do all sorts of things with it. Now, you'll probably want to tear them out of the book, and they are perforated here. So you want to take them out very, very neatly when you take them out. So you'll be using this kind of paper for absolutely everything. Almost every project you'll be using a piece of multimedia paper. We only have, I think we have 15 projects that we're going to make, and you have 60 sheets. So you won't use the whole kit, the whole multimedia pack, but that in case you want to do something over, or in case you want to practice on something, you will have extra sheets. Now, in addition to this, I sent an email to all of you. I don't know if you got it or not, but in that email I talked about things that you might want to supply yourself, like a 12-inch ruler, could be plastic, a glue stick would work. You probably want a pair of scissors. I don't recall everything else on that list, but those are the main things that you'll want to have. A pencil that you can use, and there'll be some found objects as well that don't really cost very, very much, but are things that you probably already have. If you have a box of crayons, and I just purchased a box of crayons for 50 cents. Now, if you go to a store like Walmart now before school, you can, if you don't have some of these things, you can get them very cheaply. You don't even need the whole box of crayons, but you will need a white crayon. Now, the other thing that I really would like to know is I'd like you to communicate with me either through email or on the discussion board, or when you post something about yourself. Please tell me if you're on campus or not. If you're on campus and there's some things that you need or want and can't get, it would be good if you could contact me, and maybe I could help you find some of the things, or maybe I could get for you some of the things that you can't get. Now, there's a couple of extra sheets of black paper, and they are inside your book. This is the project that you're going to need for your no-tan project, and probably extra black paper for some other projects as well. So that, just so you know that they're in here. So this kit is quite heavy. It's quite heavy. If you were to buy it by the pound, it would be quite inexpensive. The good thing about purchasing at the bookstore is that you can use your financial aid. I have the list of materials that will be helpful if you can find these things. They are not in your bag. A box of crayons, either 8, 16, or 32, it doesn't matter. A plastic fork like you get at Wendy's or McDonald's would be fine. A number 2 pencil, just a regular pencil that's usually just yellow. Mine, this one I'm using right here, is black, but it just says number 2 on it. And they don't cost very much. I'm sure you could just find one from grade school or whatever. They're ubiquitous. A ruler, a 12-inch plastic ruler is fine. Some kind of scissors. A plastic bowl for water, something like a margarine container or a discarded container from your kitchen. A little handheld pencil sharpener would be very useful. Just a little plastic one would be just fine. The reason you want a plastic pencil sharpener is because when you sharpen colored pencils, they're so aggressive, and you'll hurt the lead on your plastic on your colored pencils. They'll just break right off. So if you have just a little handheld one, just a little one, it will be very helpful for that. A couple tablespoons of salt, just regular table salt, will be helpful. It's kind of an optional thing, but that would be very, very helpful. Here is my pencil sharpener. This is just a little plastic one like this. Some paper towels for cleanup. If you're going to work in your room or in your apartment, you want to keep your supplies clean, and you want to keep your work area clean, and you want to also keep your materials together, because when we'll be using these materials throughout the semester, and some of the things we won't use till the end, and so then if you don't have them or you can't find them, that's very annoying. I always hide things on myself, and so I want you to take a lesson from my experience. Try to keep it together so that you don't have to go looking for it. If you have extra paintbrushes, little paintbrushes, if you want more than the paintbrush that is provided, that's okay. The paintbrush that is provided is a good quality paintbrush, but you might want more than that. Glue stick is also optional. Some people like glue stick because it glues really, really fast, where what Elmer's glue does is it takes a long time for it to stick, and some people just don't have that kind of patience. And then it also bleeds out, seeps out underneath the project, and it gets a little frustrating. You'll need a camera of some sort, or some way to photograph your artwork, some way to photograph and upload your pictures. This is just a regular iPhone. I know that you have different brands, and most students have some kind of device like this, and this is just plain good enough to photograph and upload your work. When you photograph your work, don't do it this way, do it this way, so that you fill up the frame with your artwork. You'll need access to a printer, a color printer. There's one in Stockton Library. That's also helpful because you'll want to print out little 2 by 3 inch pictures of each of your artwork for your final booklet. So you need a way to do that. So the other ones you can just upload and send to me. I don't need to see the original. I want to see a picture of your artwork. But the actual little pictures, the little thumbnails, you'll need to have a copy of each one of them that goes into your final test booklet. The last thing is access to a scanner. Some of you won't need a scanner. Some of you will be able to just photograph your work and upload it that way. And you may not need a scanner, but sometimes a scanner is helpful. And there are scanners around campus. So try to keep your materials together. Try to keep it clean. It's no fun when you have to look for stuff when you need them and you can't find it. If you run out of things, you can always purchase more at the bookstore, or if you are on campus and there's something very unusual or something you can't find, you can contact me, and if you're on campus, I maybe have extra stuff and I could give you something if that need would arise. So that is that is the first thing that we're going to do to get started. Is you need to get your kit together, and then start watching the videos and start looking at Moodle, and everything will start. It'll be posted weekly, so you'll see your weekly assignments, and it should be fun. I want it to be therapy for you. I want you to have a good experience, and I want for you to enjoy it. And feel free to contact me. I would like very much if on Moodle somewhere you would post a picture of yourself so that I could put a face with your name. That would be very, very helpful for me, and for me to build community. It would be helpful so that I can kind of figure out who you are and what your needs are. So with that, I'm going to stop. Thank you for your attention, and have a wonderful time in this class.